Q8065. A takeoff may not be made from an airport that is below the authorized IFR landing minimums unless a. There is an alternate airport with the required IFR landing minimums within 60 minutes flying time, at normal cruising speed in still air. B. The departure airport is forecast to have the required IFR landing minimums within 1 hour. C. There is an alternate airport with the required IFR landing minimums within 60 minutes flying. The correct answer is A. Time. At normal cruising speed in still air with one engine inoperative. The reason is that when taking off from an airport that is below the authorized IFR, instrument flight rules, landing minimums, it is essential to have an alternate airport within a reasonable distance that meets the required IFR landing minimums. This ensures that there is a suitable alternative landing option in case the aircraft cannot safely land at the departure airport. The requirement for an alternate airport within 60 minutes flying time, at normal cruising speed in still air, with the required IFR landing minimums, serves as a safety measure. It allows the pilot to have a predetermined alternative option within a reasonable distance in case of deteriorating weather conditions, equipment failures, or any other circumstances that prevent a safe landing at the departure airport. By having an alternate airport meeting the required IFR landing minimums within a specified time frame, the pilot can make an informed decision about the feasibility of the flight and mitigate potential risks. This requirement ensures that there is a suitable and reachable landing option available if needed, enhancing the overall safety of the operation. Therefore, the presence of an alternate airport meeting the required IFR landing minimums within 60 minutes flying time is necessary to make a takeoff from an airport that is below the authorized IFR landing minimums. Q8066. A pilot may not begin an IFR operation unless the next airport of intended landing is forecast to be at or above authorized IFR landing minimums at A. The estimated time of arrival, plus 1 hour. B. The estimated time of arrival. C. The estimated time of arrival are 30 minutes. The correct answer is B. The reason is that before beginning an IFR, instrument flight rules, operation, it is crucial for the pilot to have a reasonable expectation that the airport of intended landing will have weather conditions that meet or exceed the authorized IFR landing minimums at the estimated time of arrival. This ensures the availability of suitable weather conditions for a safe approach and landing. By using the estimated time of arrival as the reference point, the pilot can assess the forecasted weather conditions and determine whether they meet the required IFR landing minimums. The estimated time of arrival represents the expected time when the aircraft will reach the destination airport, and considering the weather conditions at that specific time helps in making informed decisions regarding the feasibility and safety of the flight. Selecting the estimated time of arrival as the reference point aligns with the objective of ensuring that the airport of intended landing will have appropriate weather conditions at the time the aircraft is expected to arrive. It allows the pilot to plan and execute the flight with confidence, taking into account the forecasted weather conditions. Therefore, the pilot may not begin an IFR operation unless the next airport of intended landing is forecasted to be at or above authorized IFR landing minimums at the estimated time of arrival, as stated in the answer choice. Q8068. Which condition must be met to conduct IFR operations from an airport that is not at the location where weather observations are made? A. An authorization letter permitting the procedure must be issued by the FAA district office charged with the overall inspection of the certificate holder. B. A letter of waiver authorizing the procedure must be issued by the administrator after an investigation by the U.S. National Weather Service and the FSDO, which find the standard of safety to be satisfactory. C. The administrator must issue operation specifications that permit the procedure. The correct answer is C. The reason is that in order to conduct IFR, instrument flight rules, operations from an airport that is not at the location where weather observations are made, the administrator must issue operation specifications that specifically permit the procedure. Operation specifications are documents issued by the Federal Aviation Administration, FAA, to certificate holders, such as airlines or operators. These specifications outline the specific conditions, limitations, and authorizations for their operations. They are tailored to each certificate holder and provide guidance on conducting various procedures, including IFR operations from airports where weather observations are not made. By issuing operation specifications, the administrator ensures that the certificate holder has demonstrated the necessary procedures, training, and equipment to safely conduct IFR operations from airports without weather observations. These specifications establish the specific conditions and requirements under which the operations can take place, ensuring compliance with regulatory standards and maintaining safety. Therefore, the presence of operation specifications, permitting the procedure for conducting IFR operations from an airport without weather observations, is a requirement. This ensures that the operations are conducted safely and in accordance with the regulatory framework established by the FAA. 8084, which is an operational requirement concerning ice, snow, or frost on structural surfaces. A takeoff may be made with ice, snow, or frost adhering to the wings or stabilizing or control surfaces, but polished smooth, if the anti-icing and de-icing equipment is operating. B. If snow, ice, or frost is adhering to the airplane's lift or control surfaces, but polished smooth, a takeoff may be made. C. A takeoff may not be made if ice or snow is adhering to the wings or stabilizing or control surfaces. The correct answer is C. The reason is that the presence of ice, snow, or frost on the wings, stabilizing surfaces, or control surfaces of an aircraft can significantly affect its aerodynamic performance and handling characteristics. It can disrupt the smooth flow of air over these surfaces, leading to reduced lift, increased drag, and compromised control. Taking off with ice, snow, or frost adhering to the structural surfaces can result in degraded aircraft performance, reduced maneuverability, and increased risks during critical phases of flight, such as takeoff and initial climb. It can also adversely impact the effectiveness of the anti-icing and de-icing systems, which may not be able to adequately remove or prevent the accumulation of ice during flight. To ensure safe operations, it is necessary to comply with the operational requirement that prohibits taking off when ice or snow is adhering to the wings, stabilizing surfaces, or control surfaces. This requirement ensures that the aircraft's performance and controllability are not compromised by the presence of ice, snow, or frost, reducing the risk of accidents or incidents caused by these adverse conditions. Therefore, the operational requirement dictates that a takeoff may not be made if ice or snow is adhering to the wings or stabilizing or control surfaces, as stated in the answer choice. This requirement prioritizes safety and ensures that the aircraft is in an optimal state for flight. 8085, which is one required condition for a pilot to take off under IFR with less than standard takeoff minimums at an airport where a straight-in instrument approach procedure is authorized and there is an approved weather reporting source. A. The pilot must have at least 100 hours as pilot in command in the type airplane to be flown. B. The certificate holder has been approved for such operation and the visibility at the time of takeoff must be at least RVR 16. C. Wind direction and velocity must be such that a straight-in approach can be made to the runway. The correct answer is C. Served by the procedure. The reason is that for a pilot to take off under IFR, instrument flight rules, with less than standard takeoff minimums at an airport where a straight-in instrument approach procedure is authorized, and there is an approved weather reporting source, it is essential to have suitable wind conditions that allow for a straight-in approach to the runway, served by the procedure. A straight-in approach refers to an instrument approach procedure that allows the aircraft to proceed directly from the initial approach fix to the final approach segment, aligning with the runway for landing without making any turns. This type of approach requires specific wind conditions to ensure the aircraft can safely and accurately align with the runway. If the wind direction and velocity are such that a straight-in approach can be made to the runway, served by the procedure. It indicates that the wind is favorable and supports the necessary alignment for the approach. This condition is crucial to ensure the safety and efficiency of the approach and landing process. Therefore, the presence of suitable wind direction and velocity that enable a straight-in approach to the runway, served by the procedure, is a required condition for a pilot to take off under IFR with less than standard takeoff minimums at such an airport. This condition ensures that the aircraft can safely transition from the departure phase to the instrument approach phase and align with the runway for landing.